Hey, 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 Savvy Squad. Welcome to another episode of the Dr. Sev Talks Money YouTube and podcast, where we empower women to manage money confidently and create a future of financial freedom, security, and opportunity. Today, we're talking about financial boundaries during the holidays. We're going to touch on the pressure of reciprocity in gift giving, setting actual financial boundaries, and then how to communicate our intentions and stay firm. I hope something I share today resonates with you and most of all, saves you some money. So let's get into it. What are financial boundaries? Financial boundaries are limits we set to protect our relationships and our personal finances. And what these boundaries do is they help us to maintain the joy of giving without creating undue stress or resentment. And when we set those ahead of time, it helps us to stay in line with our budget. But here's the thing, our financial boundaries can be derailed by reciprocity. This episode came about because my daughter got a gift from a coworker, and she decided she wanted to give her coworker a gift for her birthday. Well, I had some gift bags and I took those out and gave it to her, and I said, hey, you can use these gift bags and you can use this card because it's really beautiful, had some African American characters on it, really colorful and beautiful. And she said to me, no, because she gave me something really nice, so I want to give her something really, really nice. And then I thought about reciprocity, how that can derail our financial boundaries, how that can derail what we decide we've already done. And somebody gives us a gift, and all of a sudden we go shopping again because the gift that we had before, we think it's not good enough. So we run out and buy something else that is of equal or more perceived value than the gift that we got. So there's a dark side when it comes to reciprocity in gift giving. So what is reciprocity? It is the practice of exchanging things with others for mutual benefit. We do that all the time. But in gift giving, again, it can be very dangerous because it can derail our finances. There is a social pressure to give back equally or more when receiving a gift, and that can take the joy out of gift giving. Reciprocity, what it can do, it can lead to overspending because, again, we're trying to match what somebody gives us, or we're trying to give more than what they gave us. It can lead us to debt, getting into debt. Feelings of inadequacy. Family members who, in a family, maybe you have one or two who are earning really well, so they tend to give gifts that are a little higher financial value. And then if you are someone in that family who is not making as much, you may want to try to match what that other family member is doing. And it can lead to feeling of inadequacy. If you feel like you can't match or you can't outdo that person's gift giving. And unfortunately, it is very common in families where there are people who make more and they sometimes will try to give more just to show that, hey, I can do this. And then there are others who may feel a little bit intimidated by that and try to give more. Listen, I'm not one of them. I am not one of those who are going to be matching or anything because I'm not a big believer in gift giving at Christmas anyway. I believe in gift giving on your birthday. I believe your birthday should be special, and that's when I should celebrate you. That's when I should go all out and give you the gift that I think and I can afford to give to celebrate your birthday. When it comes to Christmas, it's just me and my daughter. I just give me and my daughter. That's it when it comes to Christmas. So I don't feel the need to compete or any of that. But then that's me, okay? And I'm a little bit quirky. I'm a little bit unique. So if you are feeling like you need to match somebody else's gift, or you need to give a gift that's going to be perceived as more valuable, then you may end up derailing again your finances. So I'm going to give you some tips too on how you can protect your financial boundary when it comes to gift giving. But in any case, there's some emotional toll that comes with feeling obligated to give. Guilt, resentment. I'm going to share a story in a little bit where I felt resentment. Okay. So there are feelings of guilt, resentment, feeling of obligation when it comes to gift giving. And think about the reason for the holidays, or the reason we give gifts during the holidays. It's about joy. It's about celebrating. It's about enjoying each other. But when it comes down to it, and we are not in a position, or we feel like we're not in a position to do that, what do? We feel guilty. We feel resentment. And that is taking away from the joy. It's taking away from the purpose of the holiday. Because here's something to think about. Gift giving should come from the heart. It should not be seen as a transaction or an obligation to keep score. And how many times have we fallen into gift giving as a transaction or an obligation to keep score? I've been there. Okay. So I hope today, if you're listening to me, whether it's on the podcast or during YouTube or on LinkedIn Live, that you think about the why around your gift giving. Why do you want to give this person a gift? Why do you think why do you want to celebrate this person in this way by giving them a gift? Whether it's your birthday or the holidays, right? Why do you want to give this gift? Think about some alternative things that you can do that's not going to derail your finances. And we're going to talk about a little bit about that in a while. So as I mentioned before, sometimes when we give gifts or we get gifts, we feel like we need to give back to that person. And so it creates a dark side. And that dark side of reciprocity is fueled by some common holiday pressures. Things like guilt over not giving expensive or equivalent gifts, family traditions that expect excessive spending, because there are some families where the norm is to spend way beyond the budget, or the norm is to spend really, really, to spend a lot during the holidays. And you don't know if that person who tends to spend a lot, if they can afford it. You don't know that. You see them giving expensive gifts all the time. You don't know if it's because of reciprocity. You don't know if it's guilt. You don't know if the intention is to compete. You don't know. So you may try to keep up. So those family traditions, I am challenging you to explore the reason behind those family traditions. Can you give gifts of presence, meaning you're present, being present for that person? A gift could simply be a mom who's in your family who has young ones. She's a single mom and she just needs a spa day. She needs someone to take her kids for a day so she can have a spa day. Or maybe once per month. The gift could be a gift card. Once per month, I am going to come and I'm going to take the kids. I'm going to take them to a fun place. I'm going to take them out to eat, and you can have a spa day at home. Or vice versa. You're going to take the kids. You're going to stay home with them. You are going to make a nice meal for the kids. Give the mom a gift card once per month for her to go out and enjoy herself. Something like that doesn't have to be expensive. So whatever family traditions we have, we can always create new ones that do not derail our finances. And then sometimes these holiday pressures come from feeling compelled to participate in gift exchanges that don't align with our values or our budget. When I was in corporate America, we always had this practice where people would say, let's give gift to our supervisors. So everybody needs to give a certain amount. I absolutely hated that, because my values may not align with that supervisor, or I may not like that supervisor, or that supervisor may not like me, but I may feel inclined to participate because I don't want the hate or the not liking me to increase, because we're human, right? And if everybody else is giving a gift in the group, let's say there are 5 of us, and 4 are always giving a gift, and I'm the one who doesn't give a gift or doesn't sign the card, then guess what? No matter how great my work is, no matter how wonderful I perform my job, I may end up with the least raise. I may end up with not getting the promotion that that I should be getting. I may end up not getting any of that because I didn't participate in the gift giving, the group gift giving. So hear me out. Hear me out. If you are listening to me or watching, please stop doing that. Please stop making people feel compelled to participate in gift exchanges. Let people, based on their values, based on their budget, decide if they want to give. Stop coercing people to feel like, based on the situation, they have to give. We do that in churches too. Hey, everybody needs to give 250 towards a pastor. Why do we do that? I don't think that's right. Everyone should give based on their values and their budget and how they feel compelled to give. It should be a joyful experience. It should not be something that we feel burdened to do. So if you're listening to me and you do that practice, please, can you stop? Can you stop? So let's talk about some tips for setting boundaries. Communicate your intentions. Start now. Maybe you didn't do that last Christmas. So this Christmas, when you meet with your family, start thinking about what are some ways that I can curtail my spending? Because it's rough out here, folks. It's rough out here, okay? And it's going to get rougher when it comes to our money. Not all of us are making 6 and 7 figures. So keep that in mind. If you're in a family where some people are making a lot of money and there are a few who are not, keep in mind when you give your gift, especially in a public way. Maybe when you have the public gift giving, you can do something that is not as expensive, and maybe privately you can do the expensive gift if that's what you want to do. But consider people's emotions, consider people's situation. Okay. So what you could say is, this year, I'm focusing on gifts that are more personal rather than expensive, like a framed photo or something I've made. You've seen gifts where you make the little jars for cookies, right? You put all the ingredients in there, you put a nice bow on it, and that should be a gift. Why do we think our gifts need to be so expensive? And consider this too. How many times have we bought the expensive gifts and they sit on a shelf? They're still in the closet with a tag because we bought gifts that are expensive in our mind, in our eyes, but we haven't really thought about the receiver of those gifts. Like if you were to buy me some expensive clothes or something, I'm not into clothes. I'm not into all of that. But if you were to buy me a gift card to a bookstore, oh, we're friends for life. Okay, because I love to read. So when you know your friends, you know your family members, then it becomes easier for you to buy a gift that they will value or they will appreciate, because it's not about the dollar value. It's more about the value to the person you're giving the gift. You know, this is something that they will appreciate. This is something that they'll use, not all those cupboards full of pots and fancy kitchen gadgets that never gets used because it's the in thing this year, or it's something that you think you would like, so you give it to that person. So if we consider the people we're giving to, we'll probably realize that they're not into expensive, they're into more things that they value. So that's something to consider. Talk to your family members this year and talk to them about what you want to do the next year, because you don't want it to be a surprise. You want to plan ahead and let your family members know what you are considering going forward, especially if you have always given really expensive gifts. Talk about some alternatives, such as experiences. Maybe you want to do something as a family. You want to go to, do a staycation, or you want to do those DIY gifts that I mentioned. One of the things I always talk about with my clients is to do like a little tree in your home. And for those of you who live far away, you can do it online. And you put on their names on that tree. And each person pick a name with a dollar limit. So let's say $25. And each person picks a name and buy a gift for $25, no more than $25. Or these days, $25 is like a penny. So maybe $30, and again, remember that there are teenagers who may want to buy gifts. Maybe you do an exchange with just adults, and then the teenagers, maybe a $20 limit or something. But just be creative about how we give gifts so that it doesn't become a burden, because that's the bottom line. We don't want to spend the next 6 months paying for gifts that we bought this year, because there are a lot of people who December of 2024 is still paying for gifts from December of 2023 and December 2022. We don't want to be in that position, because we want to be in a place where if we need to leave our jobs, we can do that. If we need to walk away from a relationship, we can do that, because we had not put ourselves in a financial bind. And here is one thing that I love to do is practice saying no. Okay? If a gift exchange feels excessive or stressful, just say no. Again, this is about setting boundaries, right? Because what you want to do is think about those ahead of time. Think about the conversation ahead of time. So when the thing happens, you don't get caught up in the emotion of gift giving. So you want to practice saying no with kindness. Okay. I'd love to celebrate with everyone. I'd love to go out to eat, but I'm not able to do that this year. I'm not able to join the gift exchange this year. Give people the opportunity to be able to say that. That's the reason why I don't like those group things where we're trying to give gifts to a supervisor, okay? Because we get caught in that. So think about how you can practice saying no. What are the things that you can say ahead of time? So, think about ahead of time. So when the opportunity comes, you know exactly how to say that. And you do not have to explain to anyone why. Okay? All you need to say is, I'd love to celebrate with everyone, but I'm not able to join the gift exchange this year. I'd love to go out and celebrate with you, but I'm not able to go out for dinner this Christmas. As simple as that. Because again, it's about protecting your finances, but your financial boundary. There is no rule that says we have to give a gift every Christmas. There's no rule that says we have to participate in these things. And society has created these things. Marketing has created these things where they feel like this is what you need to do. Think about how many holidays there are in a year. Every time you turn around, a new one is being created where you have to spend money. Who do you think came up with those holidays for you to spend money? And then you are blitzed and bombarded with ads and emails and all of those things telling you how you need to spend, because if you don't spend, you're going to be sad. You're going, this person's going to be sad, or all of those things. Why? Because we've been trained to think that this is what we need to do during the holiday. So I'm charging you to step back and see if this is really what you want to do, or if you're just going along with the trend, or you're just going along with the river running down. You're just kind of, letting the river carry you wherever, or you want to step off on the shore and really evaluate and see, what are my financial long-term goals? And how can I stay true to those goals and my values, but still celebrate the people in my life? Because this is not about not celebrating them. It's about celebrating them, but celebrating them in a way that is not a detriment to you. So we can reframe reciprocity. We can shift the focus from matching dollar amounts to showing more thoughtfulness in our gift giving. We can realizing that gifts are a symbol of care and not obligation. We want to remind ourselves of that. When we realize that, again, our gifts are symbols of care, they're not obligations, they shouldn't be obligations, then we may change our track. We may change how we look at our gift giving. Here are a couple of other ways to stay firm when it comes to gift giving. Use journaling or affirmations to clarify your financial priorities. Remind yourself why your boundaries are necessary. What is your why? Maybe next year, you have a medical procedure that you need to do. And this year, if you were to give the gift, then having that medical procedure and the copay or whatever it is that you need to pay towards it, it's going to derail your finances. So, hey, this year, I'm sorry, but this year I cannot participate in the gift giving. I'll celebrate with you, but I'm not going to be able to participate. And again, you don't have to say why, but you know your why. You know why your boundaries are necessary at this time. And for me, gift giving is not stressful, except when I was in corporate and I felt obliged to give gifts to supervisors that just did not track with me. Gift giving has never been an issue with me because, again, I'm a little bit quirky and I'm a little bit different. My brain just works differently. So for me, it's never been a problem. If you want to give me $500,000 gift, I'll take it. But if all I can afford is $5, that's what I'm going to give you. Because I've already made up in my mind what my goals are and what my whys are. What is it that I want to accomplish financially this year, next year, the year after? And if I were to do this thing, how would it derail that? Or would it derail that? So I've already made up in my mind that I'm not going to get caught up in these things. So again, this is not about telling you not to buy gifts, but it is for you to consider what your why is. What is your why? Why do you need to have financial boundaries? And then how can you celebrate your family members and your friends and coworkers in a way that doesn't violate that boundary? So here are my last words to you. The best gifts we can give our loved ones are time, our presence, and financial peace of mind. There is a saying on the airplane. They always say, put your mask on first before you put on the mask of those around you, right? There's a reason for that. It carries over into finances, into every area of our life. If we are wrecked, we cannot be a blessing to anybody else. So we need to make sure that we have financial peace of mind during the holidays and at other times so that we can be able to help other people. We can't help them if our finances are torn up. We can't help them. Okay, we can't be a blessing to them. So think about some ways that you can give your time to your loved ones. Look around, listen to what they're saying, listen to what they need, and see how you can be a blessing to them. How can you provide your time, your presence? Can you take somebody on a vacation, especially if you're a single person and you don't have kids? Can you take a family member on a vacation to give them that experience that they wouldn't have because their parents may not be able to afford it? Just be creative and find a way to preserve your financial barriers and still celebrate everyone else. For those of you who are listening to me on YouTube, if you haven't yet, please subscribe and please like the video and leave a comment for me. For those of you who are listening on the podcast or any of your podcast platform, your favorite podcast platform, please like, share, comment, and again, leave a comment for me. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. Also, let me know if you have any questions that you want me to answer on any of the podcasts. So again, follow me on any of the podcast platform, Apple, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, and more. Any of those podcast platforms, you will find the Dr. Seb Talks Money podcast. So until next time, this is Dr. Seb. I don't even know my own name. This is Dr. Seb saying, have a financially fit